You know that Add to Calendar button, right? We've all seen it a million times. We click it, we download some file, and we just hope we remember to show up. But what if that little button could be so much more? What if it could actually start a conversation, turning a static reminder into a dynamic, two-way communication channel?
So let's just dive right in with a kind of provocative question. For anyone who's ever organized an event, that button is pretty much a black box, isn't it? You have no clue who actually added your event to their calendar. So is it possible that this simple little button is secretly sabotaging your events before you even get a chance to connect with people?
To really get why, we need to take a closer look at the process we've all just been trained to accept as normal. It's a workflow that, when you really pull it apart, is just, well, it's fundamentally broken.
Okay, let's walk through this old way, this frustrating journey we've all bet on. You click the button, then you're hit with a list of different calendar options. You download this weird little .ics file. Then you have to manually import it, and after all of that, you're still kicked over to a totally separate form to actually RSVP. It's just a high-friction mess that loses people at every single step.
And here's the biggest flaw, the real killer. Once that file is on someone's computer, the conversation is over. It's a one-way data drop. You, the organizer, have no idea if they added the event, and maybe even more importantly, you have absolutely no way to reach them if the time changes or the link or the location. The connection is just severed.
But there is a much, much better way. So let's look at a totally different approach that completely changes the game by creating a direct line right to your audience.
So, instead of a file download, we're talking about something called a native calendar invite API. Now, this technology sends a real calendar invitation, the kind you get from your boss or a coworker, directly into an attendee's inbox. This isn't just a static file, it's a live connection to their calendar, which is the system of record for how they spend their most valuable resource, their time. So, let's really break this down. That old Add to Calendar button? It's a static, one-way data drop. A total dead end. But the new native calendar invite? That's a living, dynamic, two-way communication channel that keeps that connection alive and well. So, how does all this magic actually happen? Well, it's surprisingly straightforward. First, an organizer's event information is ingested by a smart inbox. Next, the system stores that data, gets it all ready for action. And then finally, the API assembles and sends a native invite directly to your audience. Ingest, store, send. It's really that simple and elegant.
All right, now for the really fun part. Let's put these two methods into a head-to-head battle to see just how big the differences really are.
First up, the attendee experience. With a native invite, it's a totally seamless one-click RSVP. Yes, no, or maybe, right there in their email or calendar. The old way? It's that high-friction mess of clicks and downloads and separate web forms. I mean, in terms of user experience, it is a clear first-round knockout for the native invite. Okay, round two, data collection. The new method is automatic and direct. Those yes, no, maybe clicks, they come straight back to the organizer as what you could call calendar receipts, giving you real-time RSVP data without making the user do any extra work. The old button needs a clumsy, bolt-on web form, and then all that data has to be manually pieced together. Yeah, once again, the winner is pretty clear. But this right here, this is the real game changer, event updates. With a native invite, if the time or location changes, the organizer just updates their own calendar, and that change automatically pushes out to everyone. With the old button, this feature just doesn't exist. You're stuck sending another email blast, creating confusion and leaving all these outdated ghost events on people's calendars. So all this theory is great, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's walk through a practical example to see how this technology can really bring a marketing campaign to life. So let's meet Mandy. She's a marketer and she has a goal. She wants to use the upcoming NFL schedule to create her own promotional channel and connect directly with fans for the entire season. And here's Zach, a huge sports fan. He finds Mandy's promotional site, finds his favorite team's games, puts in his email, and with a single click, boom! The events he actually cares about are sent directly to his calendar as real invites. No downloads, no fuss, just done.
And this is where the magic really kicks in. So Zach gets the invite for the Giants versus Eagles game. A little later, Mandy decides she wants to run a promotion. She simply edits the calendar event on her end to add a little note. Stop by booth 1300 for a free $125 jersey. That update automatically pushes to Zach's calendar. He sees this incredible offer and immediately changes his RSVP from maybe to yes. See what happened? Mandy didn't just send a reminder. She sent a promotion that directly influenced Zach's behavior and drove a potential customer right to her booth.
And don't make the mistake of thinking this is some niche technology. The potential audience here is absolutely enormous. Just between Google and Outlook calendars, you are tapping into a daily active user base of over 750 million people. This is a massive and, frankly, a largely untapped channel for direct communication.
So, after seeing all of this, what's the big strategic takeaway? It's really about fundamentally rethinking what a calendar is even for.
So what does this all mean? The key takeaway is this. The calendar is no longer just a passive, boring scheduling tool. It becomes an active, two-way communication channel that you, the organizer, actually own. You can communicate with your audience through the entire event lifecycle. You can track their interest in real time, and you can establish this persistent connection, turning a simple calendar entry into a powerful digital refrigerator magnet for your brand. And that brings us to one final thought to leave you with. In a world of overflowing inboxes and notifications we all ignore, what if your most important messages could land in the one place your customers check every single day to decide how to spend their time and their money? What if your next big promotion wasn't an email at all?